Hey you guys, it's Brittany and welcome back to my channel. So today's video I'm going to talk about my first trimester with you guys. I am in my second trimester and it has been glorious, I will say. But I know I didn't do weekly updates or anything like that in my first trimester, and that's because it was a secret the whole entire time. So if you haven't checked out that video yet of my pregnancy announcement, go check that out. I'll have it in the description box, as well as our family reactions. I also did like our first doctor's appointment, and I did another like 2 other doctor's appointment ones. So if you want to check out those, you definitely can. I'll put some links in the description box. But just really quick, in case anyone is new and you just don't have time to watch those, we found out we are pregnant with our rainbow baby on Christmas, which just a Christmas miracle. We've been trying for over 3 years for TTC and just so excited to finally grow our family and give our daughter a sibling. So I am currently 18 weeks and 6 days pregnant. Every Thursday I turn another week, so I am almost at the halfway mark. So that's why I was like, I need to sit down and film this video. When I was pregnant with Alondra, I did weekly updates, but I feel like not a lot changed for me, or has so far changed week to week. So I figured maybe I'll just do like trimester updates. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, and at least for the first trimester, that's what I'm gonna do. I do have all of like the notes week by week in like my notes app in my phone, so if I'm looking down, that is what I'm referring to. So I'm just gonna go over week by week kind of how I was feeling. I feel like a lot of the weeks was kind of the same, but in the first trimester I feel like your body does change a little bit more. So we're gonna start at 4 weeks, since I actually found out that I was pregnant at 4 weeks. I found out really early. I was only 2 or 3 days late on my period, like missed period. So for 4 weeks, I was bloated. I had light cramping, and at first I thought the cramping was my period getting ready to come, but they did feel different. And now looking back on it, I'm like, oh yeah, that was totally a pregnancy sign and symptom right then and there. I did get asked too, did I know I was pregnant? Did I sense it? And I had like a weird moment where like I thought maybe I was pregnant, but then I was like, no you're not, no you're not, like intuition. But that's because I felt like my intuition was so good before with pregnancy, and we, like I said, were trying TTC for over 3 years, and so I just didn't trust my intuition anymore as far as like being pregnant or not. So I was just like, oh my god, Brittany, stop putting these crazy ideas in your head, you're not pregnant. So I definitely think my intuition was trying to tell me. And then I was super bloated, and I did have that light cramping, but again, I just thought the bloating and the cramping was because my period was about to come, but it didn't. So I was also super constipated, which I feel like is very normal when you're pregnant. And then also too, that entire week going into 5 weeks pregnant, so for about almost 2 weeks, I was waking up between 5 and 5:30 in the morning. Is that a pregnancy symptom? I am not sure, but I don't ever wake up at 5 or 5:30 in the morning just randomly on my own. But I was waking up every day at 5 or 5:30. It didn't even matter what time I went to bed. I even tried to force myself to stay up late and go to bed late so I would sleep in and not wake up early, but I was still waking up between 5 and 5:30. It was miserable. So I don't know if that's a symptom, but I wrote it down anyways because I feel like maybe it was. But that's pretty much it for 4 weeks. Like I was still having energy, that'll go away soon, and no nausea, no sickness, anything like that. Week 5, same thing with the waking up between 5 and 5:30. However, I did start to get pink spotting when I wiped, and that was freaking me out. And if you don't know, we were pregnant before, and our baby did have trisomy 18, and with that pregnancy, I had a lot of complications, or maybe just signs, I guess, that there was something wrong, and the whole wiping, pink spotting was definitely one of them. A lot of brown discharge with that one. With Alondra, I don't remember any of that, to be honest. I don't think I did have any of that. But with this one, I had a lot of pink discharge every single time I wiped, and of course that stressed me out because I'm 36 years old. So I am older and being pregnant, and we've been trying for over 3 years. We had pretty much given up, and we're just like, yeah, we're never gonna get pregnant again. Pretty much just stopped trying. and look what happened. So it was very nerve-wracking for me for the pink spotting. So I had that. I had a lot of stomach discomfort and cramping, which I know is normal, super bloated, and then here came the good old tender breast. That for me is how I knew I was pregnant both times before. My boobs were on fire and in so much pain with my last 2 pregnancies. With this one, it didn't come until week 5, but boy did it. I feel like every woman that I know that complains about like the tender breast, like that's a symptom in early pregnancy. I don't know if that is everyone, but just everyone that I personally know, they all say like it is terrible. But oh yeah, that's a huge, huge sign. I always say that's like the #1 symptom is like the tender boobs, because it just, they hurt so bad. But going into week 6, I had the same thing, the pink spotting when I wiped. I had the tender breast, bloated. I did start to get red. So instead of pink, it did turn bright red. That only happened twice though, and it was only when I wiped, but I think it's because I went on this like crazy cleaning. I don't know, I just got into this really like big cleaning mode where I'm like scrubbing all of my baseboard. I mean, I clean my baseboards as it is, but I was just like in this big cleaning mode. So I'm like scrubbing all my baseboards, and then I'm vacuuming, mopping. I'm just like deep cleaning the whole house. And that night is when I had that. So the doctor said I just probably overworked myself, so I need to like calm down. So anyways, I did have that. And then of course, after the red, you usually get the brown. So I did have the brown discharge as well. So after that, I was like, I just need to take it easy and like relax, because obviously I don't want anything to go wrong. And then I put sick in quotation marks because I didn't know if I was sick or not, but I just didn't feel the greatest. I was starting to get like stuffy nose and things like that. And then also I did have like the stomach pain and like the cramping. So that was week 6. Moving into week 7, I put down no spotting. So all of the spotting was gone, which was definitely a relief. And the only thing is major fatigue. I was so tired, and this whole like fatigue is just gonna go on until I get in the 2nd trimester. I literally could not get off the couch, and I felt like the laziest person in the world, because I normally am on top of everything as far as like household things, like cleaning, things like that, but I literally could not get off the couch. I felt like if I got up at all, I just like ran a marathon. I was even so tired some days, I told my daughter like, can we please stay home? I don't think I have enough energy to take you to go do your activities, which I don't ever miss her activities, you know, unless like something is going on or she doesn't feel well. But yeah, I just couldn't. I could not move. And I know my body's doing work. I'm creating life, you know, this amazing miracle inside me. But I was really in my head and like bothered by the fact that I was just so tired, but I could not do anything. And I don't remember it being this bad my last 2 pregnancies. I don't know if it's because of my age, because I'm 36, and that's why I was just super tired, or if I was just tired making that baby. So that's all I have for week 7. For week 8, I just have, again, so tired, could not do a thing. Again, no spotting, but I did start to get a potato craving. I craved potatoes like crazy. That potato craving is gone, and I have not had a craving since week 8, but I wanted potatoes. I wanted mashed potatoes. I wanted baked potatoes. I was eating baked potatoes for like lunch and dinner, like nonstop. I just wanted all potatoes. And I even went to Taco Bell and got their potatoes, because Taco Bell potatoes are so good. I was just craving potatoes like crazy. And so that's all I have written down though for week 8. My battery died on me, so if the lighting, the angle, anything like that is off, that is why. But for 9 to 10 weeks, I have them lumped together, that, you know, the same symptoms. I feel like the symptoms are definitely very similar each week, and I feel like not too much change. And just because I don't have the tender breast written down, I definitely still had it. Like, I still kind of do now, and I'm 18 weeks pregnant. So I didn't list like every single thing, but like if it happened in an earlier week, it was probably still happening in like the same week. But 9 to 10 weeks, I still have the lazy, no energy. And I also went in this weird phase where nothing sounded good to eat. I am pretty much still in that phase, which I don't know if that's good or bad, because when I was with my second pregnancy, I had a lot of food aversions. Like even seeing certain foods, I would throw up. I couldn't do like smells like coffee. I love coffee. I could not do coffee with my second pregnancy, and I had never experienced something like that. But I have this now where just nothing sounds good to eat, and it's still going on, and it sucks because I will be starving, but I cannot think of anything good to eat because nothing sounds good. Like I will just eat food to eat it because I need it and I'm starving, but nothing is just like satisfying to me. So I don't really know if that's considered a food aversion, but it started in weeks 9 through 10, and it's, like I said, still ongoing. So I don't know if it was right after the potato craving. Maybe I had too much potatoes. I don't know what it was. I also started to get some breakouts, some like pimples, but that pretty much went away, and I haven't had any major acne or breakouts at all. And then I did have nauseous moments. So I would start to feel a little bit nauseous here and there, but I never did throw up, and I've never had morning sickness. Hallelujah. Knock on wood. Can I still, oh yeah, I think you can still get morning sickness throughout your entire pregnancy. I know that there are some people like on the extreme that will like throw up all day, every day throughout their whole pregnancy. Luckily, that is not me at all. I have not thrown up, not once. Again, knock on, I don't have wood, but knock on wood. But I did have some nauseous moments, so I was drinking ginger ale for that. And I know it wasn't my prenatal because it's a prenatal that I've taken for years, and I always take it at night. So it's just like random nauseous moments. I think though it was because I was so hungry, but nothing sounded good. So I was starting to feel nauseous because I was so hungry. I don't know. I'm just self-diagnosing at this point, but I think that's what it is. And then at 11 weeks, I got so excited because I started to get some energy. And I am one of those people, even like when I'm sick, like once I start to feel a little bit better, I go from like 0 to 100, and then within a couple of hours or the next day I feel like shit all over again. So that was definitely me in my 11 weeks because I started to feel like myself. I started to get energy, so I was trying to catch up and do everything that I had been like slacking on, and I lost it. I just went bloop downhill, and I just lost it all over again. And then I probably lost it because I got the flu. So that was miserable, and it's not like I was just very, very sick. We actually had influenza A. So my daughter caught it, and then I got it, and my husband caught it. Thankfully, out of the 3 of us, I don't want to say thankfully because obviously I don't want my daughter or my husband to have the flu, you know, and influenza A is the worst of the strands. But because I'm pregnant and because I couldn't take anything, I am glad that I did get it not the best, but I think my husband was definitely the worst. I don't know. My daughter ended up getting an ear infection and ruptured her eardrum. So I don't know who had it the worst between her and him, but it's crazy because all 3 of us had different flu symptoms. It was wild. We all definitely had fevers and things like that. But out of the 3 of us, I had it, I guess, the best. Like my symptoms weren't as bad as theirs. So I am grateful for that because I am pregnant, and again, I couldn't take anything, but it was definitely miserable. It was miserable, and we had the flu for 2 weeks. So that goes into 11 week and then 12 weeks. The only thing I wrote down was flu. I mean, I also had no energy and things like that. But then going into the last week, I was like so confused. I'm like, is 12 weeks the end of the first trimester? I found a lot of websites that said your first trimester is 4 weeks to 12 weeks. But then I'm using what is this app called? Ovia Pregnancy, and Ovia was the app that I've used since I think I've ever used a period tracker app. I've just used it for years. And I just ended up getting the Ovia Pregnancy one. It said that my second trimester doesn't start until 14 weeks, and I found a few websites that said that too. So for the first trimester, I'm just putting in to week 13, and then I'll start the second trimester in week 14. So I don't really know which one it is because I've seen so many different things on it, but I'm just gonna stop here at week 13. I started taking naps. Like every day I was starting to take naps. Now I don't know if that could go with the whole low energy or not having any energy, but even though all of those weeks I had zero energy, I was not napping at all. I was just a couch potato watching TV all day. So I definitely think naps was like a new thing because I did start taking them in week 13 and then also as well in week 14. But I started taking naps and also allergies. I have never had allergies, never. And I was sneezing like crazy and I was just like a big mess, like all up in my nose. But mainly it was the sneezing constantly. And my mother-in-law was in town and she's like, you have allergies. So I contacted my doctor and they're like, yep, you have allergies. You can actually start to get that and have them while you're pregnant. And I'm like, awesome. So that's something that I've never experienced, but oh my God, it was awful. I had it for about 2 weeks and I was taking Claritin because I am allowed to take that. Double check with your OB, but I talked with mine and she told me that I could take Claritin. So I was taking that, but that was miserable because I just got over the flu and then I was already having allergy symptoms. I was just like, what? Can I catch a break, please? But that is everything for my first trimester symptoms. I will say too though that I didn't have it written down, but it's literally been an everyday thing. And my nose, I've been having nosebleeds and I thought maybe the nosebleed, it's only in the morning. It's not a ton of nosebleeds, but when I blow my nose, there's definitely blood. That's like first thing in the morning when I wake up. And I thought it was because, you know, it was winter, it was cold, we had the heater on, so maybe my nose was just being sensitive or something, but we're already into spring and it's still happening at 18 weeks pregnant. And that's been happening since the beginning. I will have like a pretty stuffy nose in the morning when I first wake up, and when I blow, I have a little bit of blood. But again, it's not like a full nosebleed where I need to, you know, shove tissue up my nose. It's just like my first blow. That sounded really weird, but you guys know what I'm saying. So that is pretty much everything for my first trimester update. I did have 3 doctor's appointments within my first trimester. I had my 8-week, my 12-week, and then I also went to a maternal fetal health, MFH doctor for like pretty much high risk because I am a high risk pregnancy. And that is because of our past with trisomy 18. And then also because I'm 36, I needed to go and see that doctor to double check everything. I also got genetic testing done and thankfully everything has come back perfectly normal and healthy. And so at my maternal fetal health appointment, I went at 12 weeks pregnant. They did an ultrasound and looked at the baby. It's basically like when you go for your 20-week anatomy scan. That is pretty much how that appointment went. But they were specifically looking for any of the trisomies or anything wrong, any abnormalities. And then I also did my genetic testing with them at 12 weeks. And that's when I found out that everything, well, through the ultrasound, they did tell me that everything looked good. They didn't see any issue, but with the genetic testing, it confirmed it. And then also we found out the gender. So we do know the gender and we will be sharing that soon. We're just waiting for our 20-week anatomy scan. My husband would just feel better having that. I mean, even though we did get the blood test done, and I mean, sure, it could be wrong. Even an anatomy scan could be wrong, but I don't know why. We're just waiting. So I do want to do a gender predictions and then we will do like the gender reveal and things like that. So we did find out around 13 weeks then the gender, and yeah, we had our 2 appointments and so far everything is just great and it seems like we're having a healthy, amazing pregnancy. I'm hoping at our 20-week anatomy scan, which is going to be next week, still good news. Even though we did get good news from the genetic testing and our, you know, maternal fetal health appointment, I believe they call it a first trimester screening. It's like that ultrasound that they call it. We did get good news from both of those, but still my husband and I are just nervous because of everything that we went through with the last pregnancy. But of course, we're just trying to stay positive. And I mean, so far it's been great news and everything with our gummy bears. So, and I don't know if I said that, but Gummy Bear is our baby's nickname, and Alondra, our daughter, did give the baby that nickname. So that is everything, I think, that wraps up the first trimester. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them down below. If you want me to do the second trimester and the third trimester, please comment down below and let me know so I know that you guys like this video and thumbs it up so that way I know too. But I know y'all want to see the bump, right? I know that's what you guys want. So let me go ahead, I'll show you a little baby bump action. So here's my bump, super pale. Yeah, I mean, well, we just had winter, so, but again, I am 18 weeks and 6 days. I feel like this is not like a true bump shot because I'm in my second trimester, but you guys get the idea, I guess, and then it'll be interesting to see what it looks like, you know, when I do my second trimester video. But there she is in all her glory. But all right, I think I went ahead and just covered everything. You got all the info, you got to see my bump. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe, and I will see y'all on the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.